everybody to the most anticipated episode of the year for the real marks of Long Island. This is the WrestleMania 41 prediction show. Court's given the nod of approval. We like to see it. Justin, how are we feeling about today's episode?
Oh my God. So let's just start off by, for everyone watching, we usually use a program called, I'm not even going to mention them right now, but they are charging up the wazoo to use their website. So now we are here where we're pretty much like freeballing it right now. We don't know what's going on. All we know is we are live. It is WrestleMania week. We cannot wait. I have been waiting for this episode pretty much since last WrestleMania season. That episode last year was so much fun. And I am here. I cannot wait to do it again. And Court, I cannot wait to finalize our bet so I can take your money.
It's really funny that you actually think you're going to win said bet because there's no chance in hell. And we can finalize that bet right now. I mean, we can wait till we get to that part of the show.
Let's wait until we get to that part of the show. But we're finalizing the bet. We're finalizing the bet. We're just kind of free glancing right now. We're waiting for everyone to stroll in, I believe.
Yeah,
it's like my shirt.
No.
I love the shirt.
The Rock
was
was
there
trying
when
to
you-
come back to
everything up.
WrestleMania last year, and this year he's going to come back to screw over Cody Rhodes. Travis Scott's about to lay a smackdown on Cody Rhodes. That's what I'm about to say this year. Let's go.
This is bullshit.
I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
No,
Well, what
you're
is
not.
everyone doing for WrestleMania this year? All right, what do you guys? Are you guys watching Easter? Like, what is Hunter thinking doing this on Easter?
Well, I thought, I reached out to you guys. I know you were just here for congratulations to Jamie and Joey if they're listening, but on your sister's engagement. But I thought maybe you'd be down here this weekend coming up for Easter and we can get the gang together. But I mean, I'm around. That's all I know. I'm around.
Yeah, I'm going to be around. I don't think we have like any Easter plans. Connor broke his hip 2 weeks ago, so we've been very housebound, and I think that's going to stay the plan, which kind of works for me because I don't want to have plans on WrestleMania weekend. I kind of leave that open. So
I think Hunter got a deal for Vegas doing Easter weekend. I think they got a cheap deal for that stadium.
I mean, it's not cheap, but I actually, you want to talk about cheap real quick? It's actually not cheap, but it was actually pretty smart. This is probably the only time I'm going to mention AEW on this whole podcast. But did you see what AEW did in the Las Vegas airport?
No.
So you enter Las Vegas airport, and right on the Jumbotron or the big screen at the airport, they bought out like a huge advertisement for Dynamite.
Wow.
So you're entering to go to, a lot of people are flying in today, tomorrow, whatever. And the first thing you apparently see once you walk into the airport is AEW Dynamite, where the real wrestlers are.
That's hysterical. That's a bold move. That's a very bold move. Little Cutie Head says WWE is greater than Jesus. Not wrong.
Not wrong.
The WWE is on another level right now.
it is. But just real quick on that AEW thing. Do they think that people that are going to WrestleMania, especially traveling into Vegas via airport, which are longtime wrestling fans, don't know that they exist? Or they just really had to do it?
I might just watch Collision instead on Saturday. Shit. That's enough to get me.
I don't think they're showing Collision on Saturday. I think they finally moved off that. I believe. I could be wrong. If they're actually doing a Collision on Mania Saturday, then Tony Khan's even crazier than I actually thought he was. There's the Masked J. The Masked J, one of the original co-founders of PWN. PWN for life, baby. What's going on, Jay?
So Justin's got drink of choice is a nice, what's that, Miller Lite? I got a...
No,
Bud
Michelob.
Light? Oh, yeah, Michelob
Michelob.
Ultra. I got some milk like Kurt Angle. We ready with the milk. Get those bones nice and strong. This is what a future of GERD looks like when your stomach doesn't like you and fails you at every moment possible. Before we get into our predictions, I am curious, though. What are your guys' most anticipated match of the weekend? It could be NXT, too. Could be Saturday at Stand and Deliver.
My, it's tough. I, truthfully, like we'll get into it. I'm actually pretty disappointed in a lot of the builds for Mania. I don't know if we want to jump into that before we get into predictions, but I just feel like I it just hasn't been good. You know, like we discussed Cody Rhodes and John Cena. John Cena hasn't been there. You know, so now you have Cody building this up by himself, other than when John Cena was overseas on Raw. But a lot of these matches, to me, just there's no build, so like there's really no true excitement for, I would say, other than the John Cena and Cody, sure, but then like Roman, Punk, and Seth, because you don't know what's going to happen there. So I'm very curious as to see what goes on with that one.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Some of the builds have been extremely lackluster compared to other years. I think we came off such a big WrestleMania last year that it's hard to top some of those huge, massive. I feel like last year WrestleMania, you couldn't. Everything was so stacked. Yeah, there was like one or two low spots, but everything was just off the charts. And Lil Cutie had said, Manias with the worst builds are usually the best, in our opinion. And I I can agree with that. I mean, your expectations are low. Then you get your mind blown. So
Yeah, and to go with the last year thing, I mean, going in Philly, had our anticipations high for that, but it had to be the big show, right? It was like kind of the passing of the guard to a new era, and so you needed all those matches besides the Final Testament versus whatever they were called, Bobby Lashley, and Street Profits were called. Besides that, they all slapped. Like everything was so freaking good, and it culminated into such an awesome moment. And especially Sunday. Sunday started off with the cash in. We had 2 world title changes in the first 30 minutes of the show. CM Punk injured, causing some ruckus, which he's been doing all year. He hasn't stopped causing the ruckus. But I honestly think Stand and Deliver is gonna, steal some limelight. I think they're ready to put on a hell of a show. That triple threat for the NXT Championship, I don't even know what way they're gonna go, but that's gonna be insane, and I can't wait to see that. Like that's gonna be insane. It's not my most anticipated. I think the triple threat, even though it's really like I spoke about before in our podcast, like I think the reasoning behind this happening is kind of dumb, but the match itself, it's gonna be a story. It's going to be a ride. The whole Paul Heyman aspect of it is going to just change the whole dynamic of this match, and I can't fucking wait.
The crazy thing is, I don't know if you guys saw it, but do you know what the call time is for the NXT Superstars on Saturday? Their call time is 5:30 in the morning because the show is starting so early and before obviously night 1 of Mania. They have to be there at 5:30 in the morning, which is ridiculous. That is bonkers. Like, why not just, I know we have SmackDown on Friday, we have the Hall of Fame afterwards that goes until like 2:00 in the morning because now it's right after SmackDown, but there's no better place for Stand and Deliver other than like 11 a.m.
Well, let's be real, no one in that whole company is sleeping that whole weekend. They're amped up, they're ready to steal the show, they want to put on the best match of the weekend. Like they're all just racking their brains about the match, what they're going to do, how they're going to steal the show. I know if I was in that position, especially my first WrestleMania weekend and having a match on that card, whether it's Stand and Deliver or not, I'm getting pumped up. I'm just, pacing back and forth all night, going through the match in my head, and I would want it to be perfect. So I can only imagine what they're going through. And plus they're in Sin City. You don't sleep there. They're probably out gambling and having a good time too before.
Oh yeah, they're on the blackjack table till 3:45. Go home, take a shower. Go to the hotel, take a shower. Hi, Dad. I see you in the chat.
I just about to give a nice shout out to Ed Ryan Real Estate Group. If you are looking to buy a house on Long Island, New York, Ed Ryan is your guy.
He is your guy. All right, I think we should go into the predictions now. But before we go into bona fide predictions, there's 2 matches that I think we are going to see WrestleMania weekend that have not been announced yet, that will probably be announced on Friday. numero uno, Randy Orton, Solo Sikoa. We're getting Randy Orton's match this year, his 20th WrestleMania match. Who's coming out on top? What's happening in this match? Cord, I want to hear yours first.
I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed that they're going with Solo on this. I know that we had a text message. We have a text group chat, and somebody said Jeff Hardy, and Solo is only a tiny step above Jeff Hardy for me. I feel like should have went with the Nick Aldis thing, get him back in the ring. They could have killed it, and I'm happy for Randy. He deserves a Mania match. He deserves, they'll still go out there and have a great match, but just disappointed in the choice of opponent. Just not looking forward to it.
Hold on. Are we basing this off of him coming out during the segment? Is that why we're assuming that Solo is going to be Randy's opponent?
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's going to be Solo.
Who do you think it's going to be?
I still truly believe Nick Aldis has a shot at being the opponent, and if not, I think Nick Aldis is going to pick someone. I think the only time we see Solo is interfering in the United States Championship match, which we'll get into, but that's not set in stone yet. I think Friday night we'll find out, or if they're going to pull a whole Seth Rollins and wait until Randy's in the ring. But I don't think they're going to go with Solo. If they do, I am super, super, super disappointed.
Yeah, I think they are. I think Friday's going to show. I think it's going to be a segment between Randy and Solo, or Randy comes out and Solo's going to interfere again and interrupt him. It doesn't make sense to me that they'd have Solo come out and then not be Randy's opponent. And Little Cutie had said, to be honest, Solo should have had a Mania match. Rosemary been such a huge highlight for so long. If they do Solo vs. Randy, he's totally chill with that. I don't mind it either. I wouldn't be disappointed because Solo has been a huge part of this year. He helped bring in the new bloodline. Jacob Fatu, the reason he's around and, destroying everyone in sight is because of Solo Sikoa. They led us through the end of WrestleMania last year to past Survivor Series. So, the man's putting the work. I don't disagree with Little Cutie Head. I think he's definitely someone who should be on the card. And I think he will be. I think he'll be fighting Randy Orton, and I think it's going to be an easy win for Randy.
I just think, I agree that Solo deserves a spot. That's not why I'm disappointed. I think, unfortunately with the Kevin Owens injury, that match had so much potential, so much hype, so much build. So you're up here, up at the top, and you just get brought down so many pegs, unfortunately. And it really isn't Solo's fault. He has been a warrior. He's been there week in, week out, carrying storylines, carrying the bloodline. It's not his fault, but it's just getting that taste of, you're going to get Kevin and Randy, and then getting it taken away, unfortunately, due to injury, and being such a brutal injury. It's hard to really sink my teeth into Solo Randy.
Yeah, so if it is, regardless of who Randy's opponent is, I think they're walking into an L. I think Randy's taking home the W no matter what. But I truthfully, I don't think it's going to be Solo. It's not announced yet. I think that they might be the Nick Aldis thing. Nick Aldis looks great. He's still in shape. He's only 38, 37 years old. He still says he wants to go. What match wouldn't he want to take, especially with Randy Orton at WrestleMania? I'm just afraid that people are going to start cheering for Nick Aldis over Randy, and I don't think WWE wants that, nor do they want him getting over, because then they're going to, how's he going to be a GM? So I think he ends up pulling someone in, but I don't think it's going to be Solo.
Yeah, I can't see them bringing a GM to wrestle. I think they want to do kind of like a disconnect between GMs and wrestlers, because I think they want the GMs to solely be like that managerial type and not get their hands dirty. We've seen, in the past, like the Kurt Angles and the Mick Foleys who get their hands dirty, the William Regals. And I think they want to move away from that, because then kind of it looks like the boss is kind of taking a moment from someone. But, that's all story, but yeah, I'm not sure. And Court, you're causing some ruckus.
Sorry.
Yeah, that cell phone of yours is
Look at your cell phone, is what I was trying to get.
Yeah, no. Apparently your mic sounds a little muffled. I was trying to just get it through it on text. Yeah, so maybe just get closer to the mic,
How's
maybe.
this?
I don't know. I was trying to be discreet with it.
Oh, well, just be honest. Like, we're live. Like, shit happens.
Hopefully that's
How's
better for
this
you guys.
now?
Somebody in the chat tell us if
Yeah,
Ty sounds like
I
shit.
just boosted the hell out of myself. Check,
Now
1 2
we
1 2.
wait.
Ty's microphone's on steroids now.
Hashtag Ty's microphone sucks ass. All right.
All right. Well, while we're waiting, what was the other match that you had in mind there, Ty?
So obviously, you know, a lot of people are getting all fucking amped up that we have War Raiders versus the New Day, but we don't have the WB tag titles on the line. They're going to be on the line, people. It's going to be like a fatal 5-way or a fatal 6 or a ladder match. We're going to see Pretty Deadly. We're going to see the Motor City Machine Guns. We're going to see DIY, Street Profits. We're going to see Mellow Don't Miz. I think I'm missing one. Maybe I'm not. But I think the title match this Friday is going to end in a DQ, but it's going to be an all-out brawl between all these tag teams, and it's going to lead to one hell of an amazing match for the king of the tag team division on SmackDown, which is way better than the Raw tag team division. So I want to know who you guys think come out on top. Do you think the Street Profits retain, or do you think that we're going to have new tag champs coming out of that WrestleMania match?
I don't want to just jump to conclusions. We have to see. Obviously, we still have Friday. Once Friday's here, you know, the go home SmackDown, it happens, we're good. Because in that case, I'm still hoping, I think all of the IWC is hoping that Chelsea Green gets a match at WrestleMania, who rightfully deserves it to defend her United States Championship.
Look at the comments, Justin. Someone agrees with you.
Exactly. Jackie, shout out to Jackie and her boyfriend, little cutie head, Casey. But yeah, so I just don't know if they're going to be able to fit it. I don't know if that's actually going to be a match on the WrestleMania card. I think we might just get that match Friday night, and I think, unfortunately, that might be it. I truthfully, I feel that. I unless there's like some openers, like, you know how AEW has 0 hour. If there's some warm-up matches before the actual show, then sure, I can see it, but I don't think they're going to be doing that. So I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be a match.
Well, these shows are pegged at 9 hours apiece.
Yeah, right.
Night 1 and night 2 are 9 hours each. I hope my dad stopped listening because he's going to have to watch 9 hours of wrestling.
18 hours over the weekend.
18 hours. Sub Shorty Boy, I see you. But I think they're not going to do a pre-show because the Andre the Giant Battle Royal is on SmackDown, right?
Yep.
So I would love to see a Chelsea Green match. I would love to see a tag title match for SmackDown. It makes sense, but are we overloading just to overload? Like, just because we have the time? I don't want to pull in AEW and have people there for 9 hours. And then by the time we get to Cody and Cena, by the time we get to Roman, Punk, and Seth, they're exhausted.
Well, let's be real, right? The Women's Intercontinental Championship's not getting defended. She's in a tag team match. I don't think Women's United States Championship's going to get defended. I think those are kind of taking a back seat since they're brand new this year. And I can't see that. Sorry, Sean saying Cody Rhodes totally sucks. Just fucking stole my eye. But I can't.
That is what happens.
I can't see the workhorse tag division not have a title match on the card, but you have both the Raw and the Women's Tag Team Championships on that card. Impossible. I'll put my 2 cents in and say that there's going to be a WWE Tag Team title match on WrestleMania.
All right, so before we jump ahead, so now I have a bet with Court that John Cena is going to beat Cody Rhodes, and now am I also going to bet you, Ty, that the SmackDown tag titles are not going to be defended at WrestleMania?
Yeah, why not?
All right, I'm in. I don't think it's happening. If I will gladly lose these bets, by the way, but I just don't think I'm going to.
You might go for 2. Because I can see it happen.
No, you're the easiest one. You're the easiest one.
We're not getting. That's the main event. We gotta wait till the end to talk about that one. We're not getting into that match yet right now.
You're going 0-2.
Little cutie head said John Cena gonna smack up Cody. We gotta We got a lot of Cody haters in this chat. Court's about to go ham on some people.
But to Little Cutie Head, just the 9 hours, I believe, on Peacock, you can go and see. And it says on Peacock. There you go. I didn't see you write that, Court.
Yep.
It's pretty much the pre-show, I think, is like 3 hours long itself.
Yeah.
And then it goes into the show. And then I also think it includes the presser, the post-match, post-Mania scrum. So 9 hours altogether. Crazy. Buckle up.
All right. Let's go into the women's tag team title match. We got Liv and Raquel. Sorry, my focus just came out. Liv and Raquel versus Lyra and Bailey, which to me, like, I hate the dumb pairings. I hate the force of tag teams just because you have a tag team title. Like, home grow some women's tag team wrestlers, make yourself a division, have at it. But this tag team of just having two deserving women, just be on the card, I get it. But also, I'm not a fan of. The match is probably going to slap. Don't get me wrong. You have 4 amazing wrestlers in there. Liv and Raquel deserve to be on that card. So do Bailey and Lyra. Unfortunately, Bailey and Lyra should be fighting for the tag team champions. It should be a WrestleMania match for the Intercontinental Championship. I digress. But to me, I'm going to take the first prediction of this. I think Liv and Raquel take this. They make the most sense. They're leading the charge for, I think, the women's division as a whole. Liv has just been a unit this year. She's been killing it. And maybe one of us will get Liv's WrestleMania patch in a 1-for-1 card through Tops. Who knows?
Yeah, Court, if you want to take over.
I have a different opinion. So, I think Bailey and Lyra are going to win because I think that you can't have WrestleMania without Alexa Bliss. And I feel like she has a lot of baggage with Liv. And I feel like she's going to screw him over. And I'm going to take Bailey and Lyra to become the new women's tag team champions.
Wow. Bold prediction.
It's very bold.
I'm gonna go with Ty. I'm gonna go with the only actual tag team. They're the Judgment Day. It's Liv and Raquel. I know you guys spoke on it. If in the past 2 episodes, the whole gauntlet match just seemed forced.
Yep.
It was completely forced. You're not gonna have B-Fab and Misha. No offense to them. They're not gonna. It didn't make any sense. Lyra and Bailey, they had a great Intercontinental Championship match on Raw this past Monday, but they're not a tag team. And I think this was a way to get Bailey as one of the veterans of the game in WWE, to get her on the card, because it's like a healthy Randy. Like, if you have a healthy Bailey, you got to kind of get her on the card. And so I believe this is going to be a good match, but it's going to be a easy W for Liv and Raquel.
I'm laughing because I forgot how much fun I enjoyed Little Cutie Head's comments about Cody through last year's WrestleMania prediction show, because saying Bailey like the girl Cody with the throw up face is fantastic. Court, you look unimpressed by that.
I'm not impressed. Guys, I've been listening to Cody hate for 17 years. There is nothing you can say that I have not heard and not cared about. Shawnee, I see you over there. Cena over Cody. Yeah. You and your brother, big Cena boys. We know.
All right, so let's go into the other tag team match. We got the New Day versus the War Raiders, the World Tag Team Championships. Court, who's coming out on top?
I don't care.
Aww.
It's really hard for me to care about this. I hope that Big E is involved. I hope that Big E makes a WrestleMania return. That's back-to-back matches where I'm saying someone's gonna show up that's unannounced, but I just don't care. I'm gonna go with the War Raiders, but sorry, very low anticipation for this match.
I agree with you. Well, first off, I have to say hello to Maria Kohler. That's my wife, but that's no longer your last name, so change it now.
Change it now.
But no, thank you for tuning in. I love you. But I'm with you, Court. this match, it's one of the we spoke about the build up earlier. There's no like this match. When was the last time we saw the War Raiders in action? Like we speak about how highly of the SmackDown tag division is going. There is no tag division on Raw. It's ridiculously bad. And I just I don't know the last time that, they actually had a rivalry or whatever. Like, I think the New Day is actually carrying the whole division because they're heels now. So just for that, I mean, I could totally be wrong here, but just for that reason, I'm going to say that the New Day come out victorious as your new tag team champions as the heels.
I agree. I am going to take the same prediction. I think that there's not much care for the War Raiders and the Raw tag division. And the way to spice that up is to give some of the top heels in the business, which is Kofi and Xavier, the tag titles, because then they're going to really rub it in people's faces. And why not? It's another accolade for them. They've kind of been on the back burner for a while. When was the last time they won tag team gold? We had the tease that they were going to break up this year. And look at them. They turned it around. They're getting booed out of arenas. Sometimes they can't even speak because it's so loud. They're getting Dom Mysterio type heat. And I think they're going to get rewarded for it. I think we get new World Tag Team Champions in the New Day.
We don't think we're going to get a Big E appearance, right?
I don't think so.
That's what I said.
Yeah, Court said
oh,
it. But I don't
you
think
did?
So.
I did. I just because I don't know. I obviously he'll be on the pre-show, but other than that, I don't know.
I would love that. I think that it's time. He doesn't have to get in the ring and be in action. Just distract.
Last time we saw him, he cried. I mean, was that the Big E we want our last glimpses of in the ring? Nah.
He's not going to be crying. He's going to be screwing them out of the titles.
We want that WWE Champion Big E to come out and maybe toss them on their heads. Who fucking knows? We might get some repeat action.
Okay. I'm still with the New Day.
I am too. All right. Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre. We got a Sin City street fight. Justin, who's brawling this one to a victory?
So on the quick count, I spoke with Fogg, and we pretty much discussed that it's got to be Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre. I'm a known Damian Priest hater, so hands up. I am not a fan of Damian Priest. I am not a fan of his promo skills. And quite frankly, in the ring, I haven't been a fan of his ever since the Archer of Infamy. So I think Drew McIntyre deserves a bigger match than this. I think Drew just bites into his whatever he's given, and he does what he has to do. And for that, I'm going with Drew McIntyre, and I hope later on down the road he gets something bigger.
Yeah, I don't dislike Damian Priest as much as Justin does, but Drew has been the man for the last 2 years, give or take. He has just taken everything he's given, put his all into it. This build has been great, in my opinion. This is one with good build, and that's a lot of testament to Drew, as well as Damian, but Drew just puts his all in. I think it is a fairly easy Drew victory.
Yeah, I want to repeat what Maria said, and I love me a good street fight too. And I don't hate on Damian Priest as much as I used to, and on your guys' level right now, because like him in the ring, his promo skills aren't great, but when he has those pre-taped curated promos that are backstage, he's spitting fire, man. Like I don't know if it's a little bit of nerves being in front of the crowd, but in the pre-taped segments he has, man, it is phenomenal. So I'm going to go with a good old-fashioned Drew McIntyre win because he deserves it. He's been losing too much. And also he's going to get his revenge on Damian Priest this year, but it's going to be a hell of a fight.
We have a guest coming in.
Bring him in.
We have the other co-founder of PWN, Fogg Jones. Here we go, baby.
Hey,
Foggy,
yo.
what is up, brother?
Yo, it's good.
I'm here to ruin the party.
What's going
Hey,
on,
you're
brother?
allowed. You're allowed to ruin this party any day, any time.
Oh, awesome. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We were just talking about Drew and Damien in a street fight. Who do you think's coming out on top on that
Drew,
Cincy street
there's
fight?
no other option. Drew
Yeah.
cannot lose this match. It would be a travesty, as Justin likes to say.
Travesty's my word.
Yeah, I'll stop watching wrestling if Drew loses.
Yeah, there's no way he can take that loss. I mean,
No.
he's been the workhorse. He's had more losses than anyone in big time matches in every pay-per-view PLE this year. And for
Yeah.
him to go down against the guy who screwed him over the World Heavyweight Championship last year can't happen. No way.
Yeah, we could spend all day talking about it. I mean, he's put everyone over. He put Jay Uso over a bunch of times recently. Got him where he is now, to an extent. Like helped with that. I mean, put Damien over. How many times the feud with Punk? He's put everyone over at this point. So and plus, I mean, on paper he had a great 24. He did, I guess. It's just like we're building to something. I hope. They say 2025 is going to be great for Drew. We'll see, but there's just no reason to have him lose to Damien. There's just I cannot come up. I see like Cody and Cena. Like I'd love to say Cody wins. He doesn't. Maybe I don't know. Like you could come up with reasons.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the matches, you can do that. With this one, I can't do it. I can't come up with a single reason to have Damien win it. I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
What else we got? What else you guys talking about?
Yeah, we were just going over predictions so far. We went over the 2 tag matches. I don't know if you have any thoughts on the world tag title match or the women's tag title match.
Yeah, I was telling Justin, I was like I kind of wished we had Bailey versus Lyra at Mania,
Yeah.
and you had like Natalia and Maxine at WrestleMania versus Liv and Raquel, and I just because like I feel like Maxine's just waiting to explode as a single star in a way, but we're not there. Maybe eventually. So I don't know. I think the plan. It feels like Bailey turns on Lyra at some point, and I know the way WWE likes to book things. They like to do big stuff first. So I feel like Lyra and Bailey are gonna hold those belts, and they're gonna do something with that. And man, those two have such good chemistry, right? Bailey and Lyra,
Yeah.
like as a tag team and against each other. So I'm cool with it, I think. What do you guys think?
Yeah, they
So-
both picked Raquel and Liv, and I took Bailey and Lyra.
Yeah,
that's
so
what I think.
So
I think for me, we had discussed that I felt like every tag team was kind of forced in that gauntlet, and Lil Cutie says Foggy the Goat. Fog got a mad relaxing voice, so shout out to you, shout out to you, Fog.
Let's talk about KC2.
But yeah, so
Everyone but Caden and Katana were like just kind of
Yep.
here you go.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I just think the only tag team that makes sense to win that is obviously the tag champions because they're an actual tag team. But if we're gonna go full blown destruction of the Judgment Day at WrestleMania, then I can get on your whole Bailey and Lyra case.
Yeah, but I also
Yeah.
like, Fog, what you said about Bailey turning on Lyra because, I know Bailey just turned face kind of maybe
Yeah.
a year and a month, a year and 2 months
Yeah.
ago, but, she works so well as a heel. And
does.
I could see her pulling that turn and everyone going against her, and it would make a hell of a feud for that Intercontinental Championship.
I think Bailey's silent claim to fame is she wants what's best for everyone, not Bailey, and like to the point where she puts Bailey last a lot. Like
Yeah.
even when she won the Rumble, won at WrestleMania, she still sidelined herself for other stories. Obviously, she doesn't write and book and do all that, but I feel like that is a big thing with her, and so I truly believe like her whole intention here is to truly elevate like Lyra,
Yeah.
especially in Becky's absence, but probably to get to where we can maybe revisit that in the future because Becky wanted to put over Lyra as well. So I hope, but Becky totally is. I mean, Bailey's totally for the division, probably more so than anyone. Just all about elevating everyone around her. Her and Natalia, I would say.
yeah, definitely.
All right, let's dig into. We'll keep with the women's division. We can go with Jade and Naomi. If Fog, you want to take your prediction on this one first?
This feud is crazy for me. I think Jade wins, but I feel like Bianca's still involved somehow. So, but I don't think we find that out at WrestleMania. I'll get to another prediction later. I think Jade wins because I do believe this story is a little deeper than we're getting right now.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, is doing fantastic work, and you know, not PG is her Twitter. However, she's doing great work on social. As well.
I was just about to say, Jade. I think Jade picks up the win, but the verbal Twitter assault is totally Naomi's
man.
game. And my
It's so
God, the stuff that she was putting out on Twitter today.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I know, not PG.
Yeah, not PG. Not PG. No,
Let's-
no,
We're
not
out
PG.
of the PG era.
But let's talk about not just the verbiage, on social media,
Yeah.
but the promos on SmackDown. Those two backstage promos, both Naomi and Jade put out. Those two segments alone, chills all over, and got me so hyped for this fucking match. Naomi's character, if she keeps building this way, just blows the fucking roof off this division. And honestly, that promo alone kind of put me in Naomi's favor. I still think Jade might have a little leg over this one because she's kind of the golden goose per se right now in the women's division that they're trying to prop up.
She just
But-
returned.
Yeah, but dude, Naomi, this character, totally behind it. So I'm gonna just shoot one and just say Naomi's coming out.
I wouldn't be mad either way, because Naomi's doing some fantastic work, and it's like where it took them this long to let her, do this, right? But what else? Who else has a prediction? Who do you guys? Because this might be one of the toughest matches for me to predict. So, Court, Justin, what do you think?
I said I'm with Jade, but
Completely Jade?
Yeah, no, Jade's got to win. Jade's got to win this. I mean,
Cool.
This is like I'm reading in the chat. Keep moving forward with Anthony says Jade will destroy her. Will be her coming out party. That's what I'm nervous about because I've discussed on the podcast before that WWE has really protected Jade in a way where she obviously got the tag titles. She hasn't really had that big time one-on-one match yet. And if she has, she's only in the match for 4 minutes at a time because she's in a tag team. So now this is, she's not in AEW squash matches anymore. She's on the big stage. She's at WrestleMania. I'm curious.
Jadeberg is gone.
I'm
Past that.
I'm curious to see how it works out. That's
Court,
it.
who do you think? And then I just want to quick elaborate.
Yeah,
on this one.
I think I'm gonna go with Naomi, just because I agree with the Jade not being ready for, they have to continue with this story. It's not done yet, like you said, Bug, and I feel like that's gonna keep Jade in a good place where she can continue to build. I know she's training every day at the dungeon and everything else, but I think it's Naomi.
She has great support, Jade, and I agree. And I feel like maybe this is why a lot of what's happened has happened. But at the same time, I think what it feels like for me, and again, maybe a long shot, is they're gonna set up for Jade versus Bianca with the title, because I do feel like they're gonna eventually want that title on Jade. Bianca's held it plenty. So I feel like if I had to guess, Jade wins. They're gonna continue with this Bianca business because she's turning heel, man. Like whether you like it or not, she's getting mean out there. So I truly believe Jade's gonna be set up to face Bianca. Bianca will probably win the title. We'll get to that later. Yeah.
But I think that's also a good point too, because I think the chemistry that Bianca and Jade have built would also, correlate very well in a match between the two in a singles match, especially for the women's WWE Championship, the World Championship. Sorry, but that would get me super pumped. I think they could tear down the house down, and then also that'll help prop Jade up for a championship win after winning that match against the women's divisions like Cena per se. So I'm all for that, and I want to make a comment to keep moving forward. They said Naomi will make Jade look like $1 million. Yeah, easily. They're gonna have great. I think they'll have great chemistry. I think they're ready to show the world what they're both capable of. And we haven't seen Naomi be able to take the reins like this before. So I think they're both in it to show people what they're about and that they're the future of this division.
And just real quick, I just want to give another shout out to Anthony. Obviously, my father-in-law is a Long Island comic, but Anthony is also a great Long Island comedian. So if you want
Oh,
to go
cool.
see him, give him a look. Anthony, what's going on, brother?
Good to know.
Yeah, I think that match is gonna kill though. I think it's gonna be great because I think Naomi and Jade have good chemistry, and I
Yeah.
think if we get a certain producer too, who she might be working with in the dungeon, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah. You know, and there's something to be said about a story match versus just a good like Logan and AJ is going to be like a great wrestling match. This is going to be a good story match. So like, you know, for those concerned with Jade going in the ring, you know, it's gonna be a big. She's gonna be chasing Naomi. Naomi's gonna run from her. You know what I mean? You can really get around a lot of that with a good story match. And then yeah.
Yeah, and I just to that point with the story match, I know I said in the beginning of the show that there haven't been great builds to a lot of these matches. This is one of the few that have the
Yeah.
exception. Like the fact that they gave Jade and Naomi that whole segment on SmackDown where they're crying in front of each other. Bianca and Naomi where they're crying, and it was like a soap opera. It was like legitimately a soap opera, and a lot of people I don't think liked it, but I absolutely loved it. I love that they gave them the full reins to do all of that. So, like you said, the story with this one is there 100%.
Yeah. Agreed.
I want to make a. We'll move into this match next because we, Fogg, you brought it up, Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. But I have to love what Anthony said about how he hates how much he likes watching Logan Paul wrestle. Man, ain't that true, dude? Ain't that true? He's got it. I can't believe it, man. Like he's very athletic. It's like in his blood, I guess. You know, his dad's dad might have been a professional wrestler at some point. But I'm excited for that match. Again, not too much build up, and the build up was kind of blah. The reason why it's happening. I think they're gonna tear the house down. I think it's gonna be an amazing match.
Yeah.
But I think we get a Logan Paul W and a turning heel AJ Styles because we know Karrion Kross is still harping in the background for that AJ Styles we
Man.
all want to see.
Listen, I was getting chills yesterday seeing all the Karrion Kross love on my timeline. I am a huge Karrion Kross fan. I think the guy's smart, and I think he's just got layers that people don't even realize. And like there's like fan theories that you can look up on there about what he's done to like almost every active character in the WWE. And it's like, holy crap, this is pretty deep. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. But yeah, I agree. I think Logan Paul picks up the win with that. And I think it makes sense because I think they're going to push for him to be in some more world title matches soon.
I am totally with you guys. It's going to be Logan Paul with that pulverizer, which is one of the sickest finishers.
That's nasty.
It is so sick. And you know AJ, he's a pro, and the way he sells the move, it is such a sick finishing move. Logan Paul gets the victory. Ty, like you said, Karrion Kross then comes out. AJ starts getting that, that craziness towards him. He ends up turning heel because, like you said, Fogg, you go back and see what, like, whoever Karrion Kross has interacted with, they have a story, and it leads to whatever's going on right now in the current storylines. So it is perfect. He's like I know he was supposed to have a match with Bray Wyatt. I know he came out and said that, but God, I wish that match was able to happen. Unfortunately, we know what happened. But man,
I wish we could see Karrion Kross's entrance at WrestleMania. Come on, man. That's like top 3 to 5 entrances in wrestling right now. The music, Scarlett's, and it's all good. Core, who do you have? Do you have AJ or do you have Logan?
I'm gonna go with Logan. Same exact reasons you guys said.
We're all going.
Yeah, that's a unanimous one. Yeah,
I
think it's gonna be a great match,
right? Because there's the Karrion Kross is still involved here. He's sacrificing. Another fan caught it. Karrion Kross had his hands behind his back when he took that phenomenal forearm. So like these, there's the stories are good. They're small. And I'll just say real quick, I personally think the reason they did what they did and why there's such a short build, it really kind of felt like they weren't sure what they were doing with AJ, because it kind of felt like they were thinking AJ and Braun Breaker, if you remember him getting thrown in the mix. Yep. So I wonder if that had a little bit to do with it. And then they just probably realized like, that's probably not the right way to go, because right now I think they're doing the right thing. Get Karrion Kross. That dude you push that dude. Push him, please, for the love of God. Push Karrion Kross after WrestleMania, I guess, because he's not on the card. But anyway, what else?
He's doing masterful work.
Yeah.
It's just,
And it was his first match on TV, I think he said, since like June 2024 or something like that.
Yeah,
Like it's
on
been
Raw,
almost a
I
full
think.
year.
Yeah, it's a sin. It's a
And
sin.
I like the fan theories of his hair. Like, and it's funny because every time you go back, you see his hair matching the person that he's going in. I'm like,
Yeah,
this is like masterpiece going
his
on.
gear. He had, I think I saw someone like another thing that he had AJ's gear person make his trunks. That's why he was wearing the long trunks. He always wears the short ones.
That's
Wait.
right.
He was trying to match AJ.
Wait. What is
Yeah.
this? I'm sorry. No, wait. What's this hair thing?
He
Because now I'm thinking back
Oh, you haven't seen that?
with Xavier Woods. Holy shit! My mind is
Yeah.
blown right now, live
Yeah,
on
Gary,
stream.
dude, that's what
Holy-
I'm saying. You have to like look up things, or it just has to happen to hit your feed to understand what Karrion Kross is doing. It's that deep. The guy's brilliant. He gets some weird hate for some reason, and I think that's just the IWC likes to hate smart people, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
He's way
this
smarter
is
than me.
brilliant. If they don't re-sign him, that's a sin.
Yeah, it'd be
Sin.
crazy.
They not only they need to push the guy.
Yeah.
Like let's crawl towards a world title, please, within
Yeah.
a year,
And
or
if
at
it
least a
wasn't
mid card title.
and if it wasn't for Vince, the dude would have been pushed. Triple H had his his finger on the pulse for him. Like he was
took him
ready.
that long to recover from what Vince did to him. So
Yeah.
for what it's worth,
That's true.
what
Alright,
else we got? We got more
let's get
matches.
into-
I don't know how much you all covered because I came in late. I apologize.
No, we didn't cover much. It was just the two tag
Hmm.
matches we got into. But I want to get into the biggest match of the night, which is going to be El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio, baby. Court.
I bought some Nestle espresso mix, and I've been making Americanos like every single day just in honor of
Just an
how
honor.
he is.
Yeah. Oh, he's the man. I can't wait till he pulverizes Rey Mysterio.
No
It's gonna be
kidding, right?
amazing.
Arguably the best luchador signing in recent memory.
Oh my God! Forget
Putting him over.
Penta and Rey
Yeah.
Phoenix and forget it. Forget all of it.
No one
El
compared.
Grande Americano, baby.
No one
But-
compared.
They did change his billing back. Did everyone see that?
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
What they
The
changed
Gulf
it
of
to?
Mexico.
They did.
It's now the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh,
Oh
man,
no!
they probably got so much fucking heat for that, but it was perfect.
No, I
man.
thought
It
that was
perfect.
so awesome.
I know. I can't believe they fell. I can't believe they caved.
Whatever.
Oh my God! El Grande Americano all the way.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. Yeah, definitely El Grande Americano. I mean, that dude's amazing. Yeah, that's my prediction.
Ty, what about you? I'll give mine last.
I don't like. So this is a tough one for me. I feel like this feud still has some umph to it past WrestleMania, but part of me thinks that Ray might win and demask him right here, and that's why I think my prediction is gonna be Rey Mysterio, and I think it's a short-lived run for the El Grande Americano.
Rey Mysterio would do something so disrespectful,
He would.
like unmasking a fellow luchador. That is just low grade, toxic, whatever. Rey Mysterio.
Typical deadbeat dad.
Yeah.
shit right there.
Typical Ray. Typical Ray.
No, I'm with you. So we're divided here. I think Ray picks up the victory. I mean, it would be really cool if somehow because we've never seen El Grande Americano and Chad Gable in the same spot. So
Never.
So if imagine
Irrelevant.
imagine El Grande. So
very.
they're having the match, and then on the big screen, there's a video of Chad Gable, and he gets Rey Mysterio's attention, and maybe he helps El Grande Americano. I don't know. That's just my crazy mind going crazy.
They would make a great tag team, Chad Gable and El Grande.
They would. They have
Yeah,
a very
they would.
similar wrestling
Yeah.
style.
They do.
You know, Ty, I got to tell you actually what I think's going to happen.
Oh, let's see.
Mike Knox is going to make his long-awaited return and beat the living shit out of Rey Mysterio.
I'm for it, man.
Does anyone else remember when Mike Knox
What a
would just
time.
beat up Rey Mysterio like a month straight? He would just beat him up backstage.
Me and Court used to pop for that shit back in the day.
That was the best.
Maybe
So-
that's who El Grande Americano trained under. Maybe Mike Knox trained
yes.
him how to beat the fuck out of Rey Mysterio.
I
That's literally like one of the names I just never thought I'd hear come up in this conversation.
Me and Court have a random love for Mike Knox because of what
Mike
he did to Ray back in the day.
He would just beat the shit out of him backstage, like 4 ECWs or 4 Raws in a row. It was the best.
It was so good.
What's
yeah,
up next?
I think we're divided there. So me and Ty are gonna go with Rey Mysterio,
Yeah.
and Foggy and
Yeah.
Court are with El Grande Americano.
Yep.
Ty, what we got next?
All right, we got the first singles title match. We're gonna go with the United States Championship between L.A. Knight,
Yeah.
and Jacob Fatu. Justin, who we going with?
So earlier in the show, you had mentioned that you guys think that it's Solo that's going to be Randy Orton's opponent. I still am holding out hope that it won't be. I hope that they go in a different direction because I'll be very upset.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I hope.
Let's not ruin the whole show.
But I think Solo makes his appearance in that Jacob Fatu
Yeah,
LA
I
Knight
agree.
match. My part of me wants LA Knight to win because of interference, or like because Solo screws over Jacob and then they start a rivalry. But then a part of me just wants to see Jacob Fatu run with it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Jacob Fatu. I'm gonna change my mind.
Wow.
Mid
I
jolted
I-
right there.
my prediction is what you said. I think Solo costs him because I think they're going that route, and I think eventually we get Fatu with that title. But I don't know that they just do that.
I was feeling it. Now all of a sudden, I just feel like they might give the title to Jacob.
I'm stealing your 2 days ago prediction. So
I'm gonna give this one up for a little cutie head. Yadabeen! And we're going with Jacob Fatu for the win. They're gonna make this man terrorize SmackDown as the United States champion. This
that
man's
is gonna be fun though if that happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, he's gonna hold this strap for a year at least till next
Yeah.
WrestleMania, where he gets dethroned by, I don't know, maybe like an Obafemi type or something like that. That's what I'm foreseeing in the
man.
future. Maybe not WrestleMania, maybe a SummerSlam match. But yeah, Jacob's gonna frickin' run rampant on SmackDown as the United States
Or you
champion.
buying this Jacob
Yeah,
Fatu, or do you
yeah,
think
I-
Solo costs him?
I'm a little torn here because if Jacob Fatu wins, who takes the strap off of him? You know, unless you
It's
go
gonna
the
have
solo
to be
route.
like Ty's point. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
while, and like the Obafemi call
yeah.
up.
So I'm pretty torn on this. You guys kind of swayed me both sides. I'm gonna go with Jacob, just because I feel like he's just on this monster run, and you got to go with the hot hand. And LA Knight's very hot himself.
Yeah.
But it's just right now, it's just leaning towards Jacob, just a tiny bit.
I just hope when they do this, if this is like a clean loss for LA Knight, they are ready to move him on to a world title. And I just don't see it right now. I just don't see him winning a world title for like another, like at least 6 months. Unless, and I think this would be a great call, he wins Money in the Bank. Can you imagine LA Knight on every show with Money in the Bank? I know we're not here to talk about that. I just want to get y'all excited for like another episode or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Man. So if you're gonna do that, I'm cool with it. Like give him Money in the Bank. But I just don't know about another clean loss to Shinsuke did nobody any
No.
favors. And I get it, Jacob Fatu and Shinsuke are totally different worlds. We're all clamoring for Jacob Fatu to just be a single solo monster, but I don't know. I'm sticking with LA Knight.
Can we take a little detour a little bit? I don't want to talk about that. What the hell was the point for Shinsuke to win the United States Championship for like 2 months and wrestle like twice, maybe 3 times? Because to me, like,
I asked that. I have no clue.
it's like the WWE. I feel like Triple H just like wanted to give him a nod for like what he did, but like you just kind of steamrolled what LA Knight was doing. Like I felt like that killed
Clean,
his
pretty much.
reaction a little bit.
Yeah. No one wants to hear this, but I feel like every now and then they try to cool off LA Knight, and it just doesn't really work,
Yeah.
you know. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
All right.
What
it's,
else we got?
It's agreed.
Well, let's go into
Yeah,
the Intercontinental Championship match. We got 4 people, man.
Dominic Mysterio, he wins.
Yep.
And we're going to
Jawbreaker,
implode the Judgment Day with that
Penta.
because him and Finn have been kind of, you know what I mean? Penta's time will come. Dominic Mysterio is a hot commodity. That boy went from go away to like shooting star. Dominic Mysterio, I hear when Rey Mysterio said, my career pales in comparison to what Dominic is about to do. I was like, this dude's drunk. Like, he hasn't a clue. Like, he don't even know the wrestling business anymore. I was like, the grass isn't green outside. You know, it's just like Rey Mysterio is the most clueless person on this whole planet. Was like what was going through my mind when he said that. Now I'm like, no, this Dominic Mysterio is so over. Look at his social media follows. People are following him like gangbusters. He's like reaching like Drew and Cody territory with that alone, and just it's anyway. Dominic Mysterio is my pick, and I could rant about how wrong I was about him.
No, yeah, I'm with you. I said last week on the podcast that my prediction is Dom pins Finn and wins the title that way, and it just leads to a massive destruction of what's left of the Judgment Day. And Dom is due. He's just so fucking over. I mean, I could see Braun retaining, but if Braun loses to anyone, it's gonna be Dom.
Yeah, it's Dom. Dom's gonna pin Finn. Finn's about to have it in place. Finn's gonna coup de grace. Let's say it could be Braun Breaker. It doesn't matter. He's gonna coup de grace someone, put the pin down, and then Dom's just gonna pull him off. They're gonna have a little stare down, and Dom's gonna take him out. Dom
Dude,
gets
what
the 1,
if
2, 3.
what if Penta and Braun Breaker nail Finn with like their finisher, and Dom somehow gets them both out and pins Finn, and Finn's like out, and Dom's celebrating for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then Finn gets up and is like, "What just happened?" And then now you got to tune into Raw for them to have that conversation of what happened. That would be some story, man.
See, this kind of like folds back into the destruction of the Judgment Day, because if Liv and Raquel do lose, and say Dom wins and pins Finn, and Finn goes berserk, that's the grounds for that team to just self implode. Like, I could see it happening. I selfishly like want to like go against the grain from you guys and say Braun's gonna retain. But this is also the perfect time for WWE to pull the trigger on Dom. I mean, he deserves it. He's been one of the top heels in the business for like 2 years now. The man invented not being able to speak into a microphone in an arena because no one wanted to hear him speak. But I can see it. I mean, or maybe Raquel and Liv retain, and you have the three of them as champions, and then they're like, "Sorry, Finn, you're just you're the bottom of the barrel. You're not the champion here. We are." And then maybe they implode that way. I mean, it can go so many different routes. But I guess I won't go against the grain and say Dominic Mysterio, new Intercontinental Champion. I mean, it's got to happen. The man deserves a singles championship. So why the fuck not?
I know we have a couple more predictions to go through. I have one more prediction that I can do, and then I gotta hop off. Okay. I gotta eat like 1,000 more calories before bed. So yeah, did we get everyone on the prediction here?
Yeah.
Everyone going Dom?
Yeah, everyone's going Dom.
Court went Dom?
Court went Dom.
Great choice. You guys are awesome.
All right, well, we'll start you off with this one. We're gonna go. Actually, you know what? Fog. Pick which match you want to go next. We got both women's championship matches. We got both men's world championship matches. I think that's it. I think
triple threat.
Oh, well, that's both. All four.
I feel like the World
matches.
Heavyweight Championship is an easy one.
Okay.
So if you want to tackle an easy one, we could do that. I think the hardest match to predict, the two hardest, are Cena Cody and the triple threat with Roman Rollins and
what are you feeling? Your pick.
Let's talk that triple threat, because that one has some.
Oh, I thought you were about to go into court territory. I wanted you to go into court territory.
I was teasing Justin all day. I said I was gonna come in here and rag on Cody about how he's just this trash champion.
There,
no, let's do it. Let's do Cody Cena. Let's do Cody Cena.
Here we go. Ding, ding, ding.
I am very confused on what we do with this for like a million reasons. Okay, so like reason number one is Cena turning heel and having lost consistently, even losing the Rumble as a runner-up, but then he wins the Elimination Chamber. He aligns with Rock. He turns heel. I feel like if you have him lose, it's kind of a waste of all of this. However, I don't know that Cody's time is up, and it feels like, I'm going to contradict myself, like a monster heel needs to take it from Cody, but like now? So I don't know. I'm so torn on this. If you had to, like, if it forced me to predict, I'm predicting Cena, because I just feel like it's all for nothing if Cena loses, if that makes sense. Like, can you really turn him heel, align him with Rock? They're building something else there. Plus, they always call him the greatest of all time, so I feel like they really want him to break the record. You know, so I feel like all the stars align for Cena, but I'm just torn. For once they've got
Yeah.
me, I'm torn.
I have a suggestion.
All right.
What if?
Let me go last.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kurt's definitely
I'm,
going. Yeah,
I'm not going to
yeah.
speculate
This
in my
trash
prediction yet.
champion Cody.
But what if Cena ends up pulling a Brock Lesnar and like comes out and wins Money in the Bank? Because that's the perfect heel way to win a championship, right? If you can't beat them fair and square, attack them from behind and win the belt. You know, like I think that's still an option. Again, I'm also torn. I don't know what the hell way they're gonna go with this. It's 50-50 in my opinion. I'm gonna go with Cody just because Court I think would wring my neck if I went Cena. But I don't know, man. It's gonna be a nail biter. I think we're gonna see The Rock and maybe Travis Scott come out. I think Travis Scott might get a nice crossroads for his his troubles for giving Cody a nice welt. But I think it's gonna have some craziness just like we saw last year, especially because The Rock and Travis aren't done yet. Like this big heel turn happened because of The Rock. You can't just have it not impact this match at all. So I'm gonna say Cody, but it's gonna be a hell of a ride.
And so I guess before the main event, which is Court, I obviously am gonna have a bet with Court. So my answer is Cena. If Cena didn't turn heel and it was face Cody versus face Cena, I would be on Team Cody and then let John win it later on down the road. But the fact that happened and it was with the final boss and the smacks, that the licks that Cody took.
Is Cena gonna slap the lisp off Cody as Lil Cutie? Just
oh man,
you guys just
we're just digging at you.
Waiting in the wings.
So sorry. I'm so sorry.
Court,
that's why I'm here.
Court, you're being very patient, and I appreciate that. But so it just once that heel turn, and I've said it, once that heel turn happened, and he aligned with The Rock, it's game over for me. At least for now. Yeah. It's not gonna be clean. Travis Scott's getting involved. I truly believe The Rock's getting involved. Hell, I think Seth Rollins might get involved because I think he might have joined The Rock.
Yeah, there's some new layers there.
Yeah.
With the way he's even dressing. Again, people online are showing his outfits. He's dressing like The Rock. Even he's talking all this and that.
And
there's another layer. But we got to get to Court too. I'm dying to hear.
So all right. So hold on, Court. So you first respond with $50. I have Cena. $50. You have Cody. Yes. No.
Yes.
$50. Done. $50. Everyone heard it. Good.
Yeah, I heard it.
All right.
On
I'm taking John Cena. Cody wins the belt back at MetLife at SummerSlam. Let's hear it, Court. Here we go. Get the popcorn.
Oh boy. Oh god, that was a lot, guys. And the chat is just roasting the shit out of Cody, and in turn that feels like they're roasting the shit out of me, and that's okay. I would take those bullets for him. Obviously, my pick is Cody Rhodes to retain the championship at WrestleMania. Basically, for everything you guys just said, but the opposite. Yes, Cena turning heel has to have a point. It can't just flop. It can't be for nothing.
Yeah.
But I've been saying this since the day after Elimination Chamber. He's going to turn heel. He's going to get frustrated. He's not going to get what he wants by selling his soul. He's going to fall short and realize, what the hell did I do? Who did I get into bed with? Cody, I'm watching Cody become me. I'm watching Cody Rhodes become the new John Cena. And I'm sitting here, turning my back on my whole career and everything I've ever done to align with someone who I hate, who I had a huge feud with. Personally, I didn't like the guy for 20 years, 15 years. And he's going to get frustrated. So I think that having Cena beat Cody at Mania doesn't make sense to me because there is more to this story. So biasly, I'm going to say Cody every single second of every single day, and I've been saying it for the last 360 8 days or whatever we're at now. Cody's going to retain. Cody's going to retain. But I just feel that this story has more to it, and
Yeah,
that
I agree with that.
if you go with the payoff so quickly, it's like, all right, so Cena turned heel and he got what he wanted. Why wouldn't that stop every single superstar by just aligning with The Rock and him having 50 guys under his belt and just running the company? So I think that having Cody come out as the babyface, as the wow, you had Travis Scott come out, you had The Rock come out, you have Seth Rollins come out, have him go against all those odds, it just makes him even bigger of a babyface, even bigger of a champion, even bigger of a, the man that they're going to put this company, behind.
I agree with you. And before I go, I think the right way to go is Cody because, like, plethora of reasons, like you said, he really Cena realistically should pass the torch if that's what we're trying to do here. And also, there's all this layer to whatever the heck The Rock is doing. And Drew has been the biggest tease of all of this with Instagram and socials and the re-signing with The Rock and the sword, blah blah blah. So like, part of me feels like the story would make a little bit more sense that Cena fails at this, and then Drew essentially would align with The Rock and they'd kick Cena out, and then Cena goes back babyface, and then maybe Cena's like last match, he wins the belt or something. I heard someone make a comment about that, and I thought it was a pretty cool idea. Like, if Drew does win King of the Ring and then he beats Cody at SummerSlam, you could have Cena go out with a win with the title. Because, and that's another thing, is Drew and Cena have been kind of softly, and Drew's been talking a lot of crap about Cena. So I don't know. It's just so unpredictable.
I feel like John Cena cannot end his career as a heel.
No.
He's gonna have to turn back.
No way. There's no way. That's
it's
kind of
gonna happen.
What I was thinking is I just don't see that happening like that. So anyway, it's been great. Hopefully I can come on some of the times.
You're
with
allowed
y'all
anytime, Fog.
Yeah, bro.
You drop the link, I'll show up. Say my name, I will appear.
Thanks for joining us, my man. Appreciate it. But I kind of want to, Court, if Cody's reign did end on Sunday, how mad or sad would you be for his title reign? Do you think it'd be okay? Would you be disappointed? Like, he's been a champion for over a year at this point. What would you feel if that happens?
Oh, I'm gonna be sad and disappointed, but not at the title reign. At the ending of it, just because of the things that I said. That Cody has been the guy. We talked about it last week. Cena hasn't been there. Cody built this whole feud. He didn't build the whole feud by himself, but he's been carrying it week in, week out. Every house show, every European tour. It would disappoint me. But do I think his title reign is like a flop, like the internet likes to say, or that he's, so annoying and he's monotone on the mic? And I could go for days, but I won't. So, no, I think his title reign has been very successful. I think that he's by far the guy, and there's no one else close, in my opinion, as a babyface. And I'd like to see find me somebody. And I wouldn't be inconsolable in tears or anything like that, but I'd be pissed. And then I'd owe Justin $50, and that'd make me really pissed.
Well, Maria said in the chat that I'm gambling my baby's savings. So now I think we better hope.
Or if you think about it, if you lose, at least you're adding to the baby's savings.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You're donating to my child's
Mason did not make this
529.
bet. Mason did not.
But
make
the
this
money would be going straight towards Mason. So now at least it's almost like a charity, It's not, you're giving me the money, you're giving it to my son.
So when Cody wins, it's like taking money from a baby.
Yeah, you would literally be taking money from a baby. How dare you? How dare
Court's
you?
ready for it. She wants. She'll do it.
I don't care. Taking money up. Gambling is gambling.
It's not wrong. Let's go into the corresponding women's championship, the WWE Women's Championship. We have Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair, Justin. Who are we picking for this one?
Oh man, Tiffy or Charlotte. This one. So obviously we know for investment purposes, I have that rookie on card auto Tiffany Stratton card. So I'm kind of hoping she wins to skyrocket the value of that, so I can sell that card for my son's saving account. But
for the $50 to give Court.
but I for some reason we've said it. I feel like Charlotte is always going to be Charlotte Hogan. Like that's the joke. That's the running joke that Charlotte always wins. She's going to break every record. She's going to break her dad's record and whatnot. So at the beginning, I think I was actually going to go Charlotte, but because of the way she acted in Chicago, I think she's actually going to get punished, and I think she's going to lose now. So I'm going to say Tiffany Stratton retains the title.
I'm trying to remember what I said last week, and I don't remember what I said.
Well, we spoke
And I don't-
about about how we wanted this match to hopefully be professional, and after
Yeah.
Chicago and Wade Barrett trying to talk some sense into Charlotte to not go overboard with this because this is a WrestleMania matchup. This is big time. You should not mess this up because there's going to be some repercussions. I don't think we've fully picked predictions yet, but we might have both leaned toward Tiffany maybe.
Yeah, I think I think I definitely lean toward Tiffany, and I do still. So I just didn't want to contradict myself. But Charlotte, you can't ever count her out because,
No.
like you said, she's the Hogan. She's she's Ric Flair's daughter. She's gonna get those championship reigns, and Triple H is high on her. But I just think that so many of these incidents, so much locker room drama, and the company is just so against that these days. They've just been so calm and cool and collected for the most part. And I'm gonna take Tiffany. I remember what I said now, that I would like to see Becky return and get involved with Charlotte, and we could have like a little reigniting of Becky and Charlotte because
That's
that
right.
doesn't need anything. They could go to SummerSlam and be fine with no championship. So I'm going Tiffany.
Yeah, the whole thing we spoke about last week about Charlotte having her own like locker room too, and like leading up like before she returned, like this has become such a like family oriented locker room. They're all trying to build each other up. They're all in this together. They're not, none of them are being selfish. And as Fox spoke about too, like look at the Baileys of the group who are out there just putting it all on the line to make the women's division better. And if it means her losing 17 matches in a row, if she's propping some people up and really pushing the future forward, so be it. And I think a lot of wrestlers, especially in that locker room, are that way. Even Drew, right? We've seen Drew lose all these big time matches, not counting him winning a world title because he ended up losing it to Damian at WrestleMania, but losing all these big time matches to help prop up these current storylines for the CM Punks, for the Seth Rollins, for the Jey Usos. So like the man deserves it, but there's a lot of people in that locker room who are putting it all out there to not be selfish. But then you bring back the most selfish person in the whole women's division to, show that she hasn't changed. She hasn't turned a new leaf, and that when push comes to shove and she's getting booed out the arena by a crowd she's supposed to be liked, she's got to be underhanded and, talk over Tiffany and do these underhanded tactics because that's the only way she can get herself over when she's not champion. So I hope this is a learning lesson for Charlotte. I hope Tiffany does a big W and retain, and I guess we will see.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the more up in the air matches. Like I said, almost could have swore to boom, Charlotte's winning. Sorry, Tiff. But after seeing what happened, now it's truly a toss up. You see all the backstage stuff that Charlotte's getting more of the heat, and which she rightfully should. So let's see if that actually comes to fruition and we get to see Tiffy time once again in Las Vegas.
All right, let's go into the World Heavyweight Championship match. We got Gunther, Jey Uso, yeet. I didn't even do the yeet right. Yeet. I'm gonna take this one first. I mean, the segment between Gunther and Jey when Gunther was pummeling Jimmy was just, that to me was like the icing of the cake of this feud. And you can see it made a shift in Jey and how he's reacting and how he's going to handle this matchup. And he's going to be putting his all into it. I think Jey Uso comes out on top. I think we get a new World Heavyweight Champion. And I think he deserves it, man. He was the IC champion for all of like 3 minutes because he had to go back to do his feud with Roman, and God forbid he held a championship next to Roman, and Roman didn't have a title. But I think he deserves it so much. He's one of the top baby faces. Like, look at the crowd every time he comes out. And I said it last week, and I'll say it again. Everyone on the internet is shitting on this man. But when they're in that arena, I can almost guarantee they're part of that eating crowd because it is so electric. It is infectious when he comes out and that music comes out. And he's just living large, partying, and I'm excited for that run. I hope it boosts his confidence a little bit because he does get nervous on the mic. He does have moments where he's like, you can see he's unsure about the promo, but then he keeps going with it. I think if he gets past those, those inklings of doubt, he's going to do great things.
Yeah, I love where this feud has gone. I love where it's taken both of them. Gunther, I think we said last week, his promo work has been awesome. He finally has found himself a little bit in his promo work, and Jay as well. Like, he had that promo where he's angry, he's sad, he's nervous, or whatever he said. He's being more real. They both are, and it's bringing more reality to the situation of the story. And I'm gonna go with Jay becoming the champion. But I'm kind of torn. I think Gunther can retain, but I just feel like if that's the case, it would have been for nothing. I know that I just said the opposite for Cena Cody, but this is not the first match they've had for the world title. This is the third match. And if Jay loses and goes 0 for 3, you're done. You go right back down to IC level, tag level with Jimmy, whatever it may be. I think this is time for Jay to get that chance. And look, he doesn't need to have a long reign. He doesn't, necessarily. See how it goes. It's the time to pull the trigger, and I'm going with Jay.
Yeah, I'm also going with Jay. But, Court, I don't know if you remember, once the whole Cena heel turn happened, you said that I'm good. If Cody gets his ass beat from here to Mania, I know we're good. Well, it's kind of like, obviously Cena hasn't shown up, but that's exactly what's happening to Jay. Jay's getting his ass beat mentally. He's seeing his brother get his ass beat right in front of him. So there is no doubt in my mind Jey Uso is walking out of Mania as the world champion. If he doesn't, and I think we all pretty much said, like, this is probably going to be the opening match. So imagine the crowd's eating, Mania is here, Mania is starting, and then Jay loses to Gunther. Like, that will suck the life out of Allegiant Stadium. So I am full-blown Jey Uso is winning. Yeet.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think if that starts off the show and he loses, that's going to suck some energy out of the crowd because everyone's expecting it. Everyone wants it. It's a good boy, Justin. All right. Cool. I'm going to give you this one next. We're going to do the Women's World Championship match. We got Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. Who's coming out on top? Are we end still or are we end new out of this one?
First, I want to say that people are shitting on this build, and I get it because, like, we've known from the jump that Rhea is going to be a part of this, from the moment she lost to Io after Elimination Chamber. But I kind of like it. I like that Io is kind of in the background, and for that reason alone, I am going to take Io Sky to retain and still be Women's World Champion. I just feel like Bianca and Rhea are focused on each other, and it's going to be I think it'll be a great match. I'm not Bianca's biggest fan, but she can still bring it in the ring, and I think it's going to be one of those triple threats that actually goes very, very smoothly, and I'm taking Io.
I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm going to go Bianca Belair.
Yeah, Fogg might have convinced me a little bit when he brought up the whole Bianca going full-blown heel as champion, but I think she still needs some time to go full-blown heel. And I do agree. I think them not focusing on Io is a strong candidate. That means like a strong meaning for Io to be a strong candidate to win and retain. But I mean, this is a triple threat. There's three of us. Fucking Rhea Ripley, let's go win that championship back,
there we
baby.
go.
That's what I want.
Right.
I want Mommy to come out back on top. You know, she's going back to the heel side too. She's like, you know, I should have never done a favor. I'm doing things I don't usually do. Like, I got to win my championship back. And for someone who snaked her way back into the title picture for WrestleMania, she's gonna win that championship back.
I like it.
All right, we got one more
Nice.
match.
Here we go.
We got a triple threat match between Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk with Paul Heyman. Justin, your time's now. Who's coming out on top?
So it's tough. There's two sides to like my thinking here. The obvious is CM Punk wins. Punk wins with Paul Heyman at his side. This has been years in the making. But then like the intricate, like, oh, this is Triple H way ahead of the game, no pun intended, playing Seth Rollins and the favor and this and that Seth Rollins is going to leave a Paul Heyman guy and Seth Rollins comes out on top because I believe, Ty, you said it, that Seth needs this. Like Seth has taken these main matches and he's come up short in pretty much everything. On the last episode that you and Court had. So I'm torn. This is the match that I'm probably the most torn in. Roman's losing. Roman is not walking out of this a victor. So I'm sorry to anyone acknowledging Roman. Roman's not winning. It's for me right now. It's between Punk and Seth. So actually, I want to hear what you two guys have to say, and then let me make my decision.
You want me to take a tie or you?
You're talking.
All right. I'm torn as well. It's not clear cut. It's not obvious. I am leaning towards Seth, but after Raw and seeing him, stand tall over Punk and Roman, it makes me not want to lean towards Seth. But I'm gonna go with my gut and say that this match is gonna be a banger, even though Roman Reigns is in it. And that Seth, yeah, I'm so torn. It's like you said, Roman is losing. I would I be disappointed if Seth or Punk won? No. Would I be disappointed if Roman won? Yes, 1,000,000%. Man does not deserve it. Doesn't make any sense. Just bullshit. So I'm gonna go with Seth, really for no reason. I would love to see Seth align with Heyman. I said this last week. Love him. Maybe he'll align with The Rock down the line. Whatever. Seth deserves so much more. Like you said, killing the main events. Just goes out there week in, week out. Seth freaking Rollins.
I had the same thought as both of you. I'm thinking there's no way in hell Roman Reigns wins this match at all. Like, I don't think there's a shot in hell, and maybe there is. Maybe they, want to pull the surprise victory and have Roman come out on top again. But this is the first time I can confidently say that Roman ain't coming out winner of this match. No fucking way. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Last week I said, Seth Rollins saying the favorite thing out loud makes me not think it's going to be Seth. I think Paul Heyman is going to stick to his guns and be by CM Punk's side when he wins the main event of Night 1 of WrestleMania. I think CM Punk has also been on the downturn side of his moments. Obviously, he won against Seth, but him and Seth are one versus one. 1-1 against each other. And CM Punk wants the limelight. He wants to be in the main event of WrestleMania, but he also wants to win the main event of WrestleMania. And what better way to do it than Paul Heyman by his side? We've seen the flashbacks. We've seen, segments of WWE past, and we've seen Paul Heyman tell Punk that he will be in the main event of WrestleMania and he will win and I will be in your corner. And that's what's happening. You're seeing a prophecy fulfilled, people, and CM Punk is going to take his rightful spot as the winner of night one's main event?
I have come to my decision.
You're gonna say Roman Reigns now.
No, I'm not. I see my wife in the chat saying Roman. I am not gonna go Roman Reigns. My prediction. I pride myself on my predictions, and I truly don't think Roman stands a chance. The one thing I do want to say before I make my prediction is I just don't know where they go after this for any of them almost, unless it's Seth. Like if Seth and Paul Heyman come out of this, then you can go on with something. But after this, like where does Punk go? Where does Roman go? So that's the one thing that scares me for this main event is I feel like they've all been going at each other. That what do they join a world title picture? I don't know, but I am gonna go with. It's been history in the making. CM Punk gets his hand raised with Paul Heyman right behind him with the biggest fucking smile on his face. Cult of personality playing throughout the arena.
Damn.
Okay.
That's what I hope for too, man.
Yeah.
What a ride.
What an episode.
The WrestleMania
God.
prediction show. Got through all the matches. It's been like an hour and a half. Yeah. We had a surprise guest, Fog. We got a lot of, chatter in the comments. Thank you all for all your comments, even if it meant torturing Court the whole way through this hour and a half ride.
Appreciate you guys. Love you guys.
But yeah, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you all. We love doing this live. We love the interaction. It's we do want to do this more. Just my schedule at this point. I can't believe I made it to this episode because of the times and hours I'm up in the day. But yeah, you guys rock. We love that you guys tune in for us. We love the fun you guys bring to our interactions. But yeah, make sure to keep tuning in, like, subscribe, keep interacting with us. We love it. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Real Marks, out. It's over.
Want to know what I realized?
What?
Halfway through
What?
is I could have just hit the